Each Final Fantasy game may be unique in the context of story, setting and characters, but the franchise is still known for its many traditions that connect everything together. For example, regardless of the game that you're playing, you're not really going to be surprised to see chocobos, various enemy types pop up, or a character named Sid at some point during the adventure, and that's just to mention but a few. However, one particular Final Fantasy tradition that has become a little more infamous is the trope I refer to as the evil side quest. Now fortunately, these are almost always optional and are not required to complete the main story of the game. But hey, let's just be real here. No JRPG truly feels complete when optional side content is being left unfinished. And plus, with the re-release of the older Final Fantasy games on more recent generations, many of these frustrating events that lead to gamers' rage now also have trophies associated with perfecting them. Yay! By quite a long stretch, the absolute bottom of the barrel for abysmal side quests across the franchise, at least as far as I am concerned, would be the jump rope event from Final Fantasy IX. But I don't really want to bring your traumatic memories back, so let's just swiftly move on. The good news is, none of the frustrating gameplay events included in Final Fantasy X really degrade themselves to the level of the jump rope, but a number of quests in the game have become known over the years for their rage-inducing mechanics. Today, we're going to be focusing on the Lightning Dodger event that occurs in the Thunder Plains, a gameplay moment that has become despised in its own right, so please enjoy the video. Before we go any further, please remember you can support my content by subscribing to my channel and dropping a like on this video. I have tons of Final Fantasy guides and news updates across the channel, which you may also like to check out. The Lightning Dodger minigame, as I mentioned, requires 200 lightning strikes to be avoided in succession. Successfully doing this rewards the player with a number of items including the Venus Sigil, which is required to fix Lulu's celestial weapon, the Onion Knight. You will also be rewarded with the Lightning Dancer Bronze Trophy. Now technically you can first do this on the party's initial visit to the Thunder Plains, which is about 15 hours into the adventure. However, it's much preferred to return later on with more preparation in place. To complete the quest in the normal way, which is to simply run around the Thunder Plains dodging those lightning strikes, effectively puts the event on a similar difficulty level to that of the jump rope from Final Fantasy IX. This is because the lightning strikes are sudden, and the timing required to avoid them is relentlessly unforgiving. Even attempting to dodge 10 in a row can prove impossible for many, let alone the 200 required. However, there is a workaround that makes the lightning strikes far more predictable and trivialises the minigame significantly. Now, it may very well still take some practice, but at the very least, it can become manageable for most players. Before we actually attempt the minigame itself, it is very important we remove the random enemy encounters that will interfere with our attempts. Now, if you're playing a version of Final Fantasy X HD Remaster that has a simple toggle for turning off encounters, then you can probably just do this whenever you wish. However, the PS4 version doesn't have this option, so we are going to have to attain the no encounters ability the old-fashioned way. For me, I used a method recommended in my stream chat, which I have to say was very effective, so thanks for that, guys. This can be done as soon as the monster arena has been opened by capturing one of each fiend found in the Calmlands. Also in the Calmlands is where you will find the Cavern of the Stolen Faith, a dungeon you will want to visit with your capture weapons. The enemy we're hunting is a rare type known as the Ghost, and despite its rarity, it can be found quite regularly in this part of the dungeon. The Ghost enemy can drop armor at a 12.5% rate. That includes the no encounter ability, so you will want to capture this foe and then return to the monster arena. Once you do so, you can simply battle the creature over and over, and it shouldn't take too long before it drops the aforementioned armor for one of your party members. It doesn't matter which one, just take it and head back to the Thunder Plains. With enemy interruptions neutralized, we can now focus on the minigame itself. Starting from the travel agency within the Thunder Plains, you are going to head south and make your way over to this particular pylon, which will keep you safe from the lightning. I should point out, I did not discover this little workaround, and I don't know who did, but I'm sure glad to be able to share it with you, as it really does help. Once here, you will notice the dark circles patched on the ground. This is a reference point you will need to note. While controlling Tidus, you will want to run to the large crater, and as you reach it, that's when you're going to tap the button. This is the location the lightning will strike. After a successful dodge, return to just past those dark circles and repeat the process for 200 times. Now, I know it still sounds difficult, but please hear me out as I explain a number of tips to help you on your way. First off, the main benefit of this method is that the lightning is now fully predictable. It will only strike when Tidus reaches the crater. As with the usual method of just running around the thunder plains and, hoping for the best, the confirm button still cannot be spammed, and turbo controllers will not work either. I have tested this myself and it was a no-go. However, the actual timing required for a successful dodge is far more forgiving. As long as you tap the button when Tidus reaches the crater, then you will be fine. It may take a little time to get used to the flow, but once you've found your rhythm, you should be okay. Now, it kind of sucks, but there is no interface showing how many times you have correctly dodged the lightning. This is something you will have to count for yourself. However, as you are perfectly safe by the large pylon, this is not really a big deal. What I did was have a pen and paper handy, and I dodged the lightning in blocks of 10. After counting 10 dodges, I would simply return to the pylon and jot that down on my paper. And then I did this repeatedly until I had counted all 200 dodges. After this, I did another round of 10, just to be sure. And that's all there was to it. Once you've counted your 200 dodges, you can simply return to the travel agency and claim your prizes from the chest outside. You will have to open it multiple times to collect all of the rewards. So after collecting my no encounters armor and returning to the Thunder Plains, it took me less than an hour to get this trophy, which really wasn't as bad as I was expecting. So it is a very, very helpful little workaround. But please do share your own experiences down in the comments and how you found dodging the 200 lightning strikes in order to complete this minigame. To be honest, I've played through Final Fantasy X many times in the past. This was my first playthrough where I actually bothered to do this, so it was nice to finally get this trophy and also to be able to get the Onion Knight powered up. But I hope the video has helped you guys. If it has, don't forget to drop a like. Thank you for stopping by. You can also follow me at Twitter at fuzzfinger01 for various updates, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care, folks.